welcome to my channel. Make sure to hit the like button if you enjoy and subscribe. And you know what comes next. United States of Smash the bell icon to be notified when I post a new video. So yeah, make sure you're all comfy, you got your headphones on, and let's let the intro take it away. Go on ahead, intro. Thank you very much, intro. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the long-awaited return of What If Deku Was Revenant, Part 2. I know it's been a while. I know it's been 11 months since Part 1 released. And I have really been meaning to make a Part 2 for this, but, well, just haven't gotten to it. So I'm glad to finally announce that it is here. What If Deku Was Revenant is finally back. And I am so happy to finally be recording this, as it's just been a while. So, yeah, I'm ready to get into this, and I'm sure you guys are ready to start watching this What If. So, without further ado, I'm gonna start this What If. So, where we are going to start is Deku would walk into the room with all of the assignments. As Deku would start looking at all of the assignments, he would glance over at the S class. As Deku would remember back when, well, he lost his entire human body. As he would clench his fist, as he would say, "Not again." As he would walk towards the S-class board and would pick out a random assignment. As he would see that the bid was almost 10 billion yen. As Deku would think to himself, "Crap, this is the biggest assignment I've seen. Bigger than the hit out on All Might." As Deku would immediately approve it. As Deku would head to where his target was supposed to be at, he would see two guards outside, as he would grab his sniper rifle and take one of them out. The other one would see his partner drop right next to him. As he would start running away, Deku would be sitting in front of him with a pistol, as Deku would say, "Where do you think you're going, amigo?" As he would shoot the man square in the forehead. As Deku would see a vent and would quickly get inside and would start crawling towards where his target was supposed to be in the building. He would see a oversized man wearing a bird mask talking to some midget in a bird mask. As the big man would say, "There's no one here to fight other than the boss. Why do I have to be the strongest?" As the midget would say,
Don't complain. You're the only second to Overhaul, so don't try and act like you have no one to fight. I'm sure you'll find someone soon."
As Deku would think, "That's off my bucket list." As he would keep on crawling, Deku would eventually get to the room where he's supposed to be, and would look down and would immediately be shocked as he would see his target torturing a little girl. As Deku would clench his fist, as his system would start overriding his anger, keeping Deku calm. As Deku would think back to how much this mission is worth, and would think, all I have to do is kill the guy and then I get to go. It's whatever. As Deku would unlock the vent on top of them, and then would drop in, Overhaul would be completely taken aback and would think to himself, how did he get in? As he would quickly reach towards Deku, Deku's systems would jump, or cause Deku to jump out of the way, as his systems had sensed danger. Deku would get back up and would grab Overhaul by his arm, and then with his free arm would chop his arm clean off. As Overhaul would scream in pain, as he would ask, "Who are you?" As Deku would say, "Just your run-of-the-mill hitman." As he would grab his pistol and shoot Overhaul on the shoulder, causing him to fall to the ground. As Deku would walk up to Overhaul, he would grab him by the collar and would prepare to plunge his hand straight through Overhaul's head, as Overhaul would start begging for his life. "I can give you money! I can give you fame! I can give you whatever you want! Just don't kill me! I must complete my test!" As Deku would plunge his arm straight through Overhaul's head, as he would throw Overhaul's body into a wall. As he would walk towards the table and look down at the little girl who is completely exhausted and doesn't even know what's going on, Deku would free the little girl and tell her, "You're free to go. If anyone bothers you, let me know." As Deku would prepare to climb back through the vent, as he would see the girl faint and would hear footsteps approaching, Deku would have a decision to make, as his system would cause him to start climbing into the vent, as Deku would say, "No, you're not controlling me, Dad," as he would override his systems and choose, for once, his own course of actions. As Deku would drop out of the vent and grab the little girl and would start climbing through the vent. As the midget would walk into the room and scream, as he would immediately tell all the guards to seal all the exits. Deku would be able to get out before the vents were blocked off, as Deku would start running to the nearest hotel. Deku would get to the hotel, and he would immediately start applying first aid to the little girl. And when the girl would wake, Deku would be in hibernation mode. The girl would look around and would see Deku and would walk towards him. She would start tapping on Deku's face, but Deku wouldn't really respond. The little girl would prepare to go outside to see if she can find anyone to help her, but Deku would then wake up sensing getting the proximity alert a little bit late. As Deku would look at the girl and say, "Where do you think you're going?" As little girl says, "Please, don't hurt me. I'm sorry for escaping." As Deku would stand up and say, "What? Escaping? I don't know what you're talking about, girl, but you're annoying me. So if you want to live, you're gonna have to come with me." As the little girl would say, Okay, I'll do whatever you want. Just please, don't hurt me." As Deku would realize she probably thinks of him as one of the stupid gang members affiliated with that man torturing her. As Deku would say, "No, I'm not one of them. You can trust me." As the little girl says, I can?" As Deku would say, "Yeah, you can. Now let's go." As the little girl would be very hesitant to go with Deku, as Deku would just be giving her a death glare, as he says, "Come on, this is annoying me. Why didn't my dad put in any parenting advice in here? Oh wait, probably because he didn't raise me like a normal father." As he would go to slap the girl, she would immediately get into a bug stance and would just clench her legs, knowing that she's about to get beat. Deku would realize what he was about to do and would quickly go to comfort the girl, as he would tell her, "No, I didn't mean by what I said. It's alright. You can trust me. I'm not going to hurt you like they did." As she says,
If you really trust me so much, what's your name?
As Deku would be very hesitant to tell her, but knowing this is the only way she'll follow him back to the manor, he would say, "Zuko Midoriya." As she would chuckle and would say,
I like that name.
as she would say,
My name is Eerie.
and Deku would ask, "And your last name?" And she would say,
I don't remember my last name.
as he would say, "It's alright. We don't really need last names around here." As Eri would be a lot more trusting of Deku, now that she knows his full name. So, Deku would take Eri towards the manor, and Eri would just be constantly asking questions, and she just wouldn't stop talking. And Deku is, he's really keeping it in him not to shoot the girl in the forehead right now. As Deku turns around, pulls out his gun, and shoots her in the head. As Eri asks,
What are you doing?
As Deku realizes he was just imagining it. As he starts walking again. As a hero would see them across the street, and he would immediately think Deku is a villain, and he had kidnapped the little girl. Because Deku's face, well, it doesn't really look, like, "Oh, this is my daughter, I love her so much." His face doesn't really look like that. It looks like he's about to kill the girl and then throw her body into the river. That's literally what his face looks like. So the hero would quickly jump to try and save the girl. He would grab the girl and would quickly run off with her. He would tell her to stay there, and he'll handle the villain who kidnapped her. As she would try and tell him that he didn't kidnap her, when he would go to punch Deku. He would punch Deku, and he would realize his punch went right through him, as Deku would disappear into black smoke. As more copies would appear around the man, as one of the dark copies of Revenant would grab the man and lift him up, as he would say, "Stare into my eyes." And the man would get super creeped out and would punch the copy, killing it. As Deku would say, "That was my favorite copy too." As the man would turn around, as the real Revenant would grab the man by the throat and would lift him in the air. As Deku would plunge his arm straight through his chest. As he would tell Eri to look away. As the man would cough up blood, he would ask, "You're a demon!" Or not ask, but he would say, "You're a demon!" As Deku would say, "In all my years of killing people, I've been called many names, but demon, it's always seemed to put a smile on my face." As Deku would pull his arm out of the man's chest, and then would plunge his hand straight through the man's head, and then he would rip his head clean off, and would throw it through a window. As Deku would go to cover Eri's eyes as they walk by the dead body, as Deku says, "Alright, we're almost there. I'm going to give you to the maid, and then I'll find out what we're gonna do with you." So, Deku and Eri would arrive at their manor. And Deku would give Eri to the maid to watch over her while he goes to speak with his father. And thanks to you guys, the maid's quirk is strength enhancing. That's her quirk. So Deku would walk into his father's room as his father would say, "Didn't I tell you to knock?" As Deku would say, "I don't care about that crap." Well, look at this. As Deku would pull out a check of almost, 10 billion yen? 15 billion yen? I'm gonna say it was 10 billion yen. So, immediately, Hisashi would be surprised. And he would say, "Where did you get this from?" As Deku would say, "The S-Class." Hisashi would immediately be furious as he would say, "Remember what happened last time you went for the S-Class?" As Deku would say, "Don't yell at me. I could easily kill you here and now, father." As Hisashi would lean back in his chair and would say, "But either way, I'm happy. This is your first real step into becoming a professional assassin." As Deku would say, "Well, you could say I'm built for it." As Deku would then bring up the important matter. Well, the man had a little girl who he was torturing and testing on. What are we going to do with her? I gave her to the maid to look after her. As Hisashi would then ask, "What's her quirk? Maybe we can find something useful for her to do here." As Deku would say, "Rewind." As Hisashi would lean forward and would say, "That's a very good quirk. I could use her in a lot of killings. Bring her in here for me. I want to bribe her young mind into helping me." As Deku would get flashbacks to the last time he heard those words and what happened to the person who was in that room. As Deku would say, "No, you're not doing that to her." As Hisashi would say, "What do you mean, Izuku?" As Deku would say, "No, I'm not allowing it. I've already broken free of your stupid mind control virus you put in me. I am not following that order, and I won't. She's staying with me." As Hisashi would get up and say, "Do you want to challenge that?" As Deku would say, "No, I'm leaving." As Hisashi would go to try and stop Deku, Deku would just amputate his father's arm. Basically, he chopped his dad's arm off. As he would tell Hisashi not to go near him or her again. As he would go into the room where the maid was keeping Eri and would tell her they're leaving. As the maid would ask, "Why are you leaving so soon, young master?" As he would say, "You're free to go. You're discharged. I know what he did to you. You don't have to work for him anymore." As he would walk off the property, the maid would wonder what he was saying, as Hisashi would walk out with his hand as he would ask the maid to reattach it, as she would say, "Yes, sire." And that, ladies and gentlemen, is where I'm going to end this episode off. If you enjoyed it, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe. And while you're at it, United States of smash the bell icon to be notified when I post a new video. So yeah, peace out.